All right, we are back with another pick'em video. It is finally NBA season. We have real NBA basketball. No more preseason. We got the real deal tonight. 2 games. Going to talk about my favorite plays in each game, and I'm super excited to be back. If you don't know, not going to talk about it too long. Did have surgery. I've been recovering. Perfect timing for me to be pretty much fully recovered now and going to be talking basketball. So super excited. We're here for the long haul of the NBA season. You know this is my bread and butter. I haven't gone away. I've been making plays, in my community like I always do. There is links in the description down below if you want to get access to all my plays and just a fun community. But we're going to talk about the plays. We're going to hop right into things. I do want to, give some sort of credibility. Who am I this season if you're a new viewer? So we're going to show some stats real quick, and then I swear, we will get right into the plays. So super excited to be back. Let's go. So for a little bit of credibility for anyone new watching, here's my 2025 stats on the NBA. This is from January until the playoffs. I was up 114.5 units, 27.05 ROI, and you can see a losing record here, but it's because the state I'm mostly betting in only allows like DFS platforms, which is going to be PrizePicks, Underdog, Betr, Sleeper, Dabble, all those, and you have to parlay those. And the most profitable bets to place on those are usually 5- and 6-man parlays. Sometimes you can get away with 3-man, 4-man parlays, but they're mostly parlays. So you can see the record obviously doesn't stand up against the profit here, but it's because we're hitting like 5- and 6-man plays, which is a lot of different plays going into these. So this is thousands and thousands of individual plays in the NBA that we were absolutely crushing. So love to see those stats. Obviously, I just want to point this out for you guys. For the entire year and as a whole, so not just NBA, we're up over 232 units. So NBA is about half of my profit for the entire year, 23.44% ROI. Absolutely awesome to see. And again, because I was in a state that only allows, parlay type bets pretty much, you can't really straight bet in the state I was in, you're going to see a losing record here. But at the same time, I'm now in a state that does allow straight betting, so I'm going to dabble with that a lot more this season. So super excited to bring you guys my plays. Again, just want to show a little bit of credibility, a little bit of flexing here, but you got to do what you got to do. Again, if you're new to the channel, want to point that out. We know what we're doing over here in this community. So let's get into the plays for today. And yeah, super excited for another year. I literally cannot believe NBA is back. So now let's go over and hop onto the first play of the year. We're going to see this pointed out by Props Madness. This is a tool I used all throughout last year. Big contributor for the amount of profit we were able to come up with. Props Madness is super fun to use. It's also super affordable. And they have a 25% off code in my link in the description down below. It lets them know that I sent you there, so it's a great way to support the channel. But might as well check out Props Madness. Again, unfortunately, we're going to be going to Thompson's under scoring as the first play of the season. He's my guy. No one really likes to bet unders, but that's where some of the money's made. Unders are very, very profitable. And you can see Props Madness is kind of pointing out, hey, this under is looking pretty good. He scores in transition. OKC last year, #1 transition. He scores in the paint a lot. 63% of his points in the paint. They're #2 there. So, obviously I'm going to dive into this a little bit more, but Props Madness makes this very, very seamless to find good plays. It's very fun to use, like I said earlier. But yeah, they are super fun. They're, a partner of the channel. They are going to be throughout the entire season. And yeah, definitely check them out. Again, link in the description down below. But let's talk about Thompson. He has looked awesome in preseason. He's got one of the most hyped players right now in the NBA. He's on my fantasy team. I drafted him in the 3rd round. Yeah, I'm fading him here at 15.5 over on Caesars. -121 value. And obviously, here come the playoffs. He's going to be tougher to score in the playoffs, but Thompson was an absolute stud last year as he got more and more minutes. And now Jalen Green's out. He was more of a chuck. They get Kevin Durant, who's obviously going to be a high usage player, obviously a very, very good scorer here. So, with full minutes, we've gotten some preseason games over in here. This is the main one I'm looking at against the Pelicans, where they did run this death, large lineup. Thompson, the smallest guy in the lineup at 6'7", and Thompson's been playing great. He scored very well in all 4 of the preseason games he played in. You can see Kevin Durant with 15 points. You see Jabari Smith Jr. had a great game with 26 points. They put up a lot of points, but now they're going up against one of the better defenses in the league. I think Thompson's points line is probably right around where it should be for a normal game if he's going up against a Pelicans team or something like that. But against the reigning champs on ring night, coming into their building, I think it's going to be tough to get 16 plus points here in a spot like this. Again, I mentioned it when I was talking about Props Madness, but 63% of his points come in the paint. Last season, OKC, second best in the league in defending that area. You see transition points, #1 right there as well. So, similar types of players. I'm not going to look at Russell Westbrook 47 times. A lot of these in the playoffs just because he's not the same type of player as Thompson is at this point in the career. Not the same type of usage or anything like that. But it is good to see that he's staying under his his points lines and everything, a guy that goes to the rim. But Thompson is going to be developing throughout the entire season. I don't think he really has a jump shot right now. They might leave him open on, 3-pointers. And if they're going to do that, I assume a lot of misses come from there. If he knocks down 2 or 3 threes, we're going to have to live with that. It's a bad shooter getting open looks, and he might be knocking them down there. So, a lot of things going into this ring night, ceremony for the OKC Thunder, one of the better defenses in the league. Kevin Durant coming in here, it might be a little bit sloppy, for the first few games of the regular season for the Rockets here. So got to fade my guy, 15.5 points. Not saying he's not going to have a great game in other departments, maybe some rebounds, maybe some assists, getting some blocks and steals, but you can drop 15, just not 16 plus for us. So Thompson, first play of the year. Unfortunately, got to fade my guy. And real quick before we move on from Thompson, his minutes were all over the place last year. He started getting a ton of minutes near the end of the year. But even in games he's seeing, 30 to 36 minutes right now on RotoWire, you can see he's projected for 33 minutes right now. Yeah, so 33 minutes, we'll go 30 to 36 minutes. And we can see that, he's only over this in 45% of games. So it's not like he's seeing 30 plus minutes. He's crushing this line. He can be a defender. He can be a facilitator. With Fred VanVleet out, we're going to see a lot more Reed Shepherd and Amon Thompson probably running the one here. So yeah, he can be a distributor. He can be a rebounder. He can kind of do everything. He can be the main defender on Shea. He's going to be, all over the place doing a lot of different things. If he's getting a ton of minutes, he doesn't have to be that main scorer. And again, the Rockets just brought in a guy named Kevin Durant to do, most of the scoring here. So Amon Thompson's going to have a great year, but I don't think he's going to get 16 points or more today. Moving to the next play here, it's going to be in the next game as well. I'm going to go to Draymond Green at 5.5 rebounds. Going to take an over. Wanted to sneak an over in here. Obviously, I'm not going to take unders every single day. Whenever there's value, I don't care if it's an over or under, I'm going to look at that side. So Draymond Green over 5.5 rebounds. That's what we're looking at here. I'm going to take it on BetMGM. I took it at minus 110. Looks like you can find it around minus 113 is best odds on the ones showing up here. But again, I just put this in at minus 110 over on BetMGM. So it's not some juiced play. But I really like his opportunity here at 5.5. Obviously, Draymond in the preseason, a lot of old guys for the Warriors. So we didn't get to see a full, new revamped Warriors team. Not a lot of changes over there for the Warriors, but they do bring in Al Horford. They do get Jimmy Butler for the entire season this year. So they've had an entire offseason to kind of adjust what's going on. But I'm looking at this as, 5.5 is a lower line for a guy like Draymond. He's going in now with Al Horford, a guy that lets Jason Tatum rebound the ball very, very well for the Boston Celtics. He's a very good, guy that can box out, which is why guys like Tatum can go out there and grab a whole lot of boards. So I do think a stretch 4, a stretch 5 coming in and playing alongside Draymond Green on the offensive end makes a whole lot of sense. He's a perfect fit for the Warriors. Al Horford is, I'm talking about. But on the defensive end, Al Horford's going to be a really, really good guy to box out. And maybe that means more rebounds for guys like Draymond Green, Pajemski, even like Jimmy Butler. We could see a lot of, uptick in rebounds for these guys for sure. I could see that. So 5.5 boards. He's also going up against the Lakers, so that's, a good thing. He likes to play against the spotlight. 10 rebounds and 11 rebounds last year against this team. We can also see games that Jimmy Butler came into town. He's probable today. He will most likely go out and play. He was over this in 57% or 51.7% of games, but again, he played the Lakers with Jimmy Butler once, played 34 minutes there. They won by 7 points, and he grabbed 11 rebounds, and he did have a whole lot of rebound chances. It's not like he had a game that, he grabbed 11 rebounds in 11 or 12 rebound chances. He had 17 rebound chances, which is much, much more than this, 5.5 line. Obviously, a few guys added. Kuminga's going to be around, some guys, moving into bigger roles. But yeah, they're an old team. They are going up against an old rival here in the Lakers. No LeBron out there. Maybe that hurts the rivalry a little bit. But Draymond's going to go out there, hopefully, look good and grab a few boards for us. So over 5.5 boards. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Again, a lot of these are from last year in the playoffs, so it's hard to look at these. But once we get, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks under our belt, these lines of players going up against teams that are similar to a guy like Draymond Green, it's huge to see all those different stats. So that's going to be awesome for Props Madness in a few weeks. But for now, we got to go off intuition, what we know about the game. And I'm thinking Draymond's going to rebound pretty well tonight. And we're going to start off slow this season. So those 2 plays I just talked about, those are the official video picks, the Draymond Green play, the Amon Thompson play. But I do like this Shea play at 1.5 steals, minus 118 right now on DraftKings. It's also available on Underdog. So if you're a DFS bettor, you can go take this on Underdog. I don't mind that. Over 1.5 steals. You can see the first 3 games of the season last year. My thought is that, the Rockets did make a lot of moves. They come in here. They don't really have a true point guard to start for them. Fred VanVleet goes down. They got to have some guys step up. Draymond Green's out of there. So I could definitely see some turnovers happening for the Rockets the first few games of the season as they get, their feet wet and start, meshing together. And good to see that Shea had some steals, at the beginning of the season last year. That kind of goes into the play that, the idea that some teams that are making adjustments might be a little bit more sloppy. This is going to be a defensive-minded game, kind of a slugfest. A lot of offense potential in here, but the under in this game probably looking okay. So that goes well for some steal opportunities for a guy like Shea. But I do like J-Dub. If J-Dub was in the lineup, I'd probably love this play. The fact he's not in the lineup, I like their two-man game, kind of trapping players, and they kind of work well off each other. But they got a whole bunch of different, assets in terms of defensive-minded players that can funnel guys to get Shea some nice steals. So I don't know. I like the 1.5 steals. I wanted to point it out for you guys. Not an official play, but if you wanted some more action down in this game, I know I only talked about the 2 plays. Here's a 3rd play if you wanted to get something down on it. So I don't want to force anything. There's only 2 games. It's the beginning of the season. I don't want to get too hyped up and make some stupid plays. So I'm going to just leave it there. And by the way, I want to point this out now. I know I get a lot of comments like, oh, this line moved and bumped and everything. I can't really help that. If I bet a line and show you guys all the information on a line and it moves as I'm uploading it or, over the next few hours, I can't help that. That's just me betting on a good line. Sometimes it moves the wrong way. So I know things do move. I know it can be frustrating. If you want access to all of my plays the second I place them and, access to be a fun community, there's a link in the description for my Discord community. You can check that out. So if you want access to all my plays probably before all these bumps happen, you can do that. Because again, as a sharp sports bettor, you bet on lines that are probably eventually going to move in the direction that you're betting them. So that's going to happen. I know it's frustrating for people, but check out Discord, and that's where you get access to all my plays. So a quick recap of the video picks. We talked about Thompson under 15.5 points. He's my guy. He's on my fantasy team. I think he's going to have a great year. I just don't think he's going to score 16 plus tonight. We talked about Draymond Green over 5.5 rebounds. Obviously, Al Horford coming in, great guy to box out. Even if they don't play a whole lot of time together on the floor, I think Draymond against the Lakers in a really good spot to get some rebounds. With Ayton in there, he's a bum. So I like Draymond over boards. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 1.5 steals. We just talked about this one. But yeah, he's obviously one of the best. He probably is the best guy to collect steals in the entire league. He's going up against a team that made a lot of changes. It's the first game of the season. There could be some sloppiness, and they're a very good defensive-minded team. So I like the opportunity for Shai to get some steals. I didn't even point out the fact that he averaged 2.4 steals against this team last year. So that's another good sign. So that's the 3 picks. That's going to do it for me. It's good to be back. I'll probably be a little sloppy the first few days, but I think that went pretty well. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely go ahead and leave it a like. Subscribe if you are new. We're going to be here all season. Also, go check out my Twitter. I've been posting a lot on Twitter, so it's Rich Picks. I'll leave the link in the description down below. It's free to follow me. I do send out a lot of different plays, I just pointed out that there's a flip play that's literally just for free $10. We talked about some Champions League today. I placed a bet over there. I'm going to pop in and watch this game right now, at least have it on in the background. But yeah, go check me out on Twitter. I've been posting a lot over there. And definitely check out Props Madness. They're awesome. Check out RotoWire. That's where I get all my projected minutes and things like that. That is massive for finding out what lines I want to go to, who's going to play the minutes. It's not always 100% right. No one's always 100% right in everything, but it gives me a good idea, which is pretty sweet. So check out RotoWire. And yeah, we got a lot of sponsors throughout the entire year that we'll talk about. But go follow me on all the different platforms. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you guys have a good day. Good luck with all your bets, and I'll see you in the next video. NBA is back. Let's go.